Of course, usually I'm just kicking myself and thinking, why didn't I do that in the very beginning? What was I thinking? This doesn't make sense. But anyway. When I first started painting, I did a lot of figurative work because I had been really good at figure drawing in art school. In fact, that was my saving grace or anything. I tend to paint a lot of underpaint a lot of things in white and then glaze over them. And I don't even know if that's a technique or if it's just the way I work. I think it's more fun just to make a big mess and try and figure it out afterwards. And I have an idea, and at that point I don't really know if it's a good idea or not. I just have to see if it'll kind of come together. So, I mean, I tend to just choose, botanical topics because that's what I'm really interested in, plants and how important and vital they are to us and how fragile they are and how they're so persistent. I like weeds, things that you chop down to the roots and then you just come back another week later. And they're like, oh, I was like, oh, that resilience is kind of a lesson for everybody, I think. So this piece is probably the fourth piece I've painted, and with a similar theme of carnivorous plants mixed with the objects of their desire, but then at the same time the insects eating the plants. I think it's kind of a fun exploration to see the whole circle of life. And these are all kind of exaggerated and not exactly realistic, but the carnivorous plants, they have these long tubes to kind of lure you in and trap you in the bottom. I kind of fascinated by that part. The weird thing is that when I'm painting, I'm often painting things that are around me, and I'm looking out over the bay, which is beautiful and everything, but actually in my head, I'm walking in Edinburgh, where I grew up, and I'm by the river, and I'm just looking at all the things that are growing by the river, and I guess what I'm painting has nothing to do with that environment, really. I'm thinking about it. It's just like in my head. The river's in my head, and that sounds a bit weird, but that's what I'm doing. I don't know. Maybe I have to go home.